Hi guys, Moser here, and today I've got some gameplay for you from the brand new Operation Black Ice DLC from Rainbow Six Siege. The DLC dropped yesterday, and anyone with a season pass has instant access to both of the new operators, Frost and Buck, and of course to the new free map as well. The map is called Yacht, and as you guessed it, it is based on a yacht which has crashed into a lot of icebergs, and pretty much the terrorist is holding it down, and we have to go in and try and take it from them. During the time that I was recording yesterday, I only actually managed to play the map 3 times, which was a bit of a bummer, and the reason for this is because there is no choice to play it. There's no server browser in Rainbow Six Siege, so the only way you get to play the map is when it comes up in the rotation with the original base maps. However, when I was playing on the map, I was really enjoying it. It's a fairly large map, and I think Ubisoft have done a really good job with this one. It's got lots of vertical gameplay as well as linear, and it's going to be fun but a challenge to learn all of the flanks and choke points. As you've probably already guessed, this video is only going to be gameplay of the new operators, Frost, which is the defender, and Buck, who is the new attacker. Now let's start with Frost, and the weapon you'll see me using with her in this video is the C1 submachine gun. It has a 34 round magazine which comes off of the side of the weapon, and according to the stats in the menus it does 38 damage per shot. Now the difference between this and say the MP7 is that the C1 has a very slow rate of fire at 575 rounds per minute. However, with the high damage model this is really not a problem. The recoil is also very easy to control, so this weapon might appeal to more novice players who aren't very good at controlling weapons with high recoil. My only disappointment this far is that you cannot run the American holographic sight on this. As you see in the video, I'm just running the normal red dot sight. The only other choice would be the reflex sight, which has the green triangle reticle. Frost's other primary weapon is the Super 90 pump action shotgun. Now unfortunately there isn't any gameplay in the video of me playing with that, just simply because I'm not very good at playing with shotguns. Her secondary weapon is the Mark 1 9mm pistol, and she has the choice between either a nitro cell or a deployable shield for her gadget. Frost's unique weapon is the welcome mat, and it's basically a modern version of the bear trap, which she lies down on the floor. Now I can tell that this thing is slowly going to become one of my favourite defender gadgets in the entire game. She has 3 welcome mats that she can place down, whether it be indoors or at the top of stairs. However, I found the place that they really do damage is underneath windows. In this circumstance, the only way an enemy is going to be able to tell it is there is if they throw a drone in first. If they come through the window carelessly like some people do, then this thing is going to hit them. Now if you have 100% health, then the welcome mat will not kill you. It will just injure you and a teammate will have to come and revive you. However, if you are already weak and you walk over this thing, then it will kill you. I've already been in a few situations where it's nearing the end of a round, I've died and it's a 1v1, and the enemy walks over my trap and it kills him, causing us to win the round. There's even been times when this has helped us win an entire game. You know the feeling of uselessness when all the cameras have been destroyed and you're no help at all to the last player on your team in a 1v1 situation, and then boom, the welcome mat hits the last player on the enemy team and you've won the game. The mat can also be used to block off certain areas or try and create a pathway for your enemies to come straight towards you. For example, on Kaf Dostoevsky, if I'm saying that right, in the train museum, you can actually put the mat down at the end of the tunnel between the 2 rooms, and the only way the enemy is going to be able to get through that is if someone sacrifices themselves and walks over the mat. If not, they're going to have to go all the way around to the other entrances. I've also seen people pair the welcome mat with a deployable shield, so if you put it behind the shield, the enemy is going to go and jump over the shield and obviously going to land straight on the welcome mat in the process. So overall I think Frost is a really good addition. She definitely brings something new, interesting and also fun to the operators, and I'm really looking forward to playing as her a lot more. Now, on to Buck. His primary weapon is the C8 SFW assault rifle, which to me and you is basically an M4. He has the ability to toggle to an underbarrel shotgun, which of course fires a buckshot.
Sunday breaks through.
I've got to be honest, when I first read about the DLC, I was quite sceptical about buck. We've already got shotguns in the game, and we've already got assault rifles, so why do we need 2 in 1? But I can now say that I was wrong. This combination is awesome in my opinion. According to the stats in the loadout menu, the M4 does 42 damage. Now I'm not 100% sure how accurate this is, but when you're using the weapon, it certainly does feel like it does a lot of damage per shot. And of course, as it is an assault rifle, it has absolutely no problems at all performing at mid to long range encounters. Now of course there has to be a catch somewhere, and in the M4's case it is with its recoil pattern. This thing kicks. It has a lot of recoil, and it's going to take some practice for a novice player to be able to control it. Even myself haven't been able to get used to it totally, which you've probably noticed in some of the clips in today's gameplay. Now we know the M4 can handle very well at long and mid ranges, and it can also fare well in close range encounters in the right hands. However, this is where the underbarrel buckshot comes into play. This thing as well absolutely hits like a truck. I'm not sure of any exact damage models, but what I can say is because of the spread of the buckshot, this thing can do a lot of damage in very little time if you want it to. You might remember back at the beginning of this gameplay on Hereford Base, I rappelled into a room and did kill a Kapkan in 1 shot. Now of course he may have been weak already, but it does go to show that this thing can do a lot of damage. Buck's other choice for a primary weapon is a marksman rifle, and I apologise that there is no gameplay of that in this video. However, I am thinking about doing a gun review in the future. I'm expecting it to perform a lot like Glaz's sniper, but of course it could be completely different, so that will have to be for a future video. Buck's secondary is the same as Frost, which is the Mark 1 9mm pistol, and he has the choice between either stun grenades or breaching charges for his gadgets. It's hard to choose between the two, my favourite. They both bring such different things to the game, and you really can't compare them. However, if I had to pick one, I would say Frost. This is quite simply down to her new trap. It makes walking around the map as an attacker much more of a task when you're constantly worrying and looking for these traps on the floor. Pair this with the C1 SMG and you're looking at a very strong defender. The only disadvantage to all of this, and something I have forgotten to mention, is that I believe that Frost only has stage 1 light armour, which of course leaves her very vulnerable whilst defending. Overall though, we have been given 2 very good operators. Along with the DLC, the game has also been given a patch, and I'm not going to list through all of the patch notes because, quite frankly, there is a ton of them, and of course you can find them either on Reddit or on the Rainbow Six forums. But I just wanted to say, I think Ubisoft have done an absolutely fantastic job with this new patch. If you've seen the patch notes, you'll know that Ubi has clearly listened to the community. I think everyone was getting a little bit worried because there hadn't been much word from them about upcoming patches or much word about the DLC on a whole. But after this patch, my faith in Ubisoft has been restored. It's nice to see that they do really listen to the community, however quiet they may have been, and I'm really excited to see just how far they can take this game. So yeah, a really big hats off to Ubisoft from me. So, as the game plays out here, I just want to take the chance to say thank you for watching. I'm really enjoying doing these commentaries and editing it all together for you guys. So any feedback would be appreciated. So yes, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.
Friendly's victorious. Hostiles eliminated.